Hey friends, and welcome back to Old Mill Homestead. So today we are going to try yet again to make biscuits from scratch. Now I make bread weekly, sometimes twice a week, depending on what recipes we have. But biscuits, I struggle with, right? I have a video, I can link it above, of where I tried two different biscuit recipes. The second one came out better than the first, but I'm still not where I want to be at it. Now I've made them many times since then, but today I found a different recipe, and so we're gonna give it a try. The only thing I do not have that it calls for is cream of tartar. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be okay on that. So let's get started. All right, so for this recipe, we need 3 cups of flour. You'll need 3 tablespoons of sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of cream of tartar, which I actually found in my pantry, 3/4 cup of cold butter, 1 egg, and 1 cup of whole milk. So I've got my oven preheating to 450. I've heard this over and over, the secret to good biscuits is cold butter. So I've already pre-diced my butter, and I just put it in the freezer. So hopefully that helps. Combine the dry ingredients in a large bowl. So let's swing down and we'll go ahead and get all of our dry ingredients ready. So we need 3 cups of flour. So I'm gonna put this over here. This is about worn off. I'm pretty sure it's half a cup. So my full cup measure won't really fit in here. So we're gonna do 6 of these, and that'll be 3 cups of flour. This flour is just regular flour that I get from Azure Standard. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's our 6 cups of flour. To that, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. And again, this is sugar, just regular sugar that I get from Azure Standard. So we're gonna add that to the bowl. We need half a teaspoon of salt. I think I have a half, yep. Half a teaspoon of salt. We need 3 or 4 teaspoons of baking powder. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And there is that. I'm just gonna take a whisk and just kind of whisk these ingredients together. And this is our dry ingredients. And that looks perfect. So now we're gonna use a, drawing a blank on the tool, but you'll see in a second, and we're gonna cut in our butter. This is the tool that I was talking about. I'm drawing a blank on the name. I've already got my butter measured out. I just pulled it out of the freezer. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump that in. Not even going to touch it. And then we're just gonna combine, and it says you still want to see chunks of butter. So we're just gonna get this combined. It also says be sure that you use cold milk and cold egg. I've got my mixture done. It says you should still be able to see chunks of butter. It calls for whole milk, and it's a 3/4 cup of whole milk. I am right on the line there. So we're just gonna add the milk. And then we need 1 egg. There's our egg. And then it says to mix until the ingredients are combined. So I'm just gonna take my spatula and get the egg kind of broken up and the milk mixture all mixed together. I'll try to do this left-handed. Let me put you on the other side. Okay. So let me get this nice and combined. Actually, I read the recipe wrong. It's a cup of milk, of whole milk. I was looking at it and I was like, it's supposed to be kind of a doughy mixture, and this is definitely more dry. So I just reread the recipe. So we're gonna add the other 1/4 cup of milk and get this all combined. I really hope this turns out. For whatever reason, biscuits just are hard for me. I can make sandwich bread, Italian bread, I can make artisan bread. None of those seem to be a problem, but you give me... this is gonna need a little bit more milk. I can tell already. There's still some crumbles down in there that it's almost like they have no milk. So I did add a little bit more milk. Anyway, I feel like biscuits are just, they're difficult for me. It's pretty doughy. So that's, I mean, not doughy, it's pretty wet. Okay, I think this is a good consistency. I think it's kind of what she was talking about in the recipe. So on my surface, I'm gonna flour my surface. I'm just gonna pour this mixture out. She does say that you can add more flour if needed. I think we're gonna be good on flour though. You can see those chunks of butter, or I hope you can see those chunks of butter. Let me get you in for a better look. We have our dough. She said she just puts some flour on her hand and then she just works it 10 to 15 times. So I'm assuming that means basically what I'm doing by working it. I don't know if I remember to tell you, I'm preheating the oven. It's at 450. So I've got just a couple more. She said she typically does not roll them out because your hands are usually already have flour on them. So I'm gonna stop there as far as rolling them out. She said that she tries to have them be about 1 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch thick. And then use whatever you have to cut your biscuits out. So I'm gonna use my 1 cup. Oh yeah, that looks really, really good. That looks really, really good. Nice and thick. Can you see that? So I'm just gonna get the rest of these cut out. And then we're gonna pop them into the oven. Afterwards, can you see kind of the chunks of butter in there? After that, we're gonna put just a little bit of melted butter on top. These already look amazing. Now she said she gets different amounts. Sometimes she gets 9, sometimes she gets 12, just kind of depends. And we'll see how many we wind up with. There's only Nick and I, so I would like to err on the side of making them too big because we should have enough. I'm doing breakfast for dinner, so we should have enough for breakfast for dinner and for breakfast in the morning if we want to eat a biscuit in the morning. I am super excited about the size of these biscuits. And I will have her recipe linked in the description box below. I typically do this to the last biscuit. I just kind of make my own shape. It is typically a little bit bigger than the others, but I still think it will be okay. So we have that done, and we're just gonna pop this in the oven. We're gonna pop this in the oven for at 450, I believe, for 13 minutes. A little bit of correction. So they're in, I just popped them in the oven. It said at 450, and they're gonna be in for 10 to 15 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes, please.
10 minutes starting now.
So I have my timer set for 10 minutes. I'll check them at 10 minutes, and then we will go from there. While that's in the oven baking, I'm gonna go ahead and clean my mess up and have everything done. And then once Nick lets me know that he's on the way home, we're having breakfast for dinner. We're just having eggs, turkey bacon, and homemade biscuits. So we'll see you when the biscuits are all done. We are back. So I've already took a look at these, and y'all, they look like biscuits. No hockey pucks here. They look fabulous. They're fat, they're fluffy. I have some butter melted to add on top. My timer's about to go off, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out of the oven. Y'all, never have I made biscuits that look like this. Ever, never. Do those not look amazing? I'm gonna add a little bit of melted butter to the top. Y'all, I'm gonna link the other video just so you can see how bad my other biscuits were in comparison to these hot mamas. Really. Oh my goodness, y'all, I can't even. So I'm gonna try to touch one. They're super hot because I just got them out of the oven. Look at that biscuit. Look at that, friends. Let me get you in here and get you a good look at it. Finally, we did it. I did it. These biscuits look amazing. They do not look like hockey pucks. I am super excited. This recipe was really simple. It had a ton of 5-star reviews. I will link it in the description box below, y'all. This has been one of my vices, right, is biscuits. Like I said, I can do artisan bread, I can do sandwich bread, Italian bread, I can do all of those breads, but I have struggled with biscuits from day one, and I've made them off and on since the last video, and they've been so-so. These, y'all, these are amazing. This is what I was going for every time I made biscuits. I am so excited, y'all. I will post that link to the recipe below. You have got to try these. Amazing. I'll let you know how they taste. I'll post a little comment down below. Friends, we will see you in the next one, and happy cooking.